Now, an update on a very bizarre story. We've got some new information on the investigation of who put dead chickens in the Edisto River. News 19's Shelley Garzone went out to do some investigating and even a little looking and floating down the Edisto River to find out. Shelley, what did you discover?
Yeah, that's right, Andrea. We spent the day out on the river, and we even got the chance to speak with the Edisto Riverkeeper about what he found early Tuesday morning. And he tells me he's never seen such a large amount of animal remains in the river before. And he's reminding residents tonight that this type of activity is illegal in South Carolina. Now we warn you that some of the images you're about to see could be graphic.
I realized that it wasn't just a normal littering call.
Hugo Krispyn is the Edisto Riverkeeper. On Monday night, he received a call about a large amount of trash dumped in the river. What he found was something unexpected.
Somebody had dumped, looked to me like several hundred dead whole chickens off the side of the bridge, and the water level we had then, they'd gotten hung up on a couple of these logs that extend across the river downstream of here. Since then, the water level has dropped, so most of them have drifted downstream from where they were.
Krispyn says he immediately reported this to the Department of Natural Resources. The Department of Environmental Services has now taken over the investigation. In a statement to News 19, they tell us no facilities in that area experienced a mass die-off. They also shared that feed at commercial facilities is not provided in bags, but delivered in bulk and stored in silos. This could indicate the chickens could potentially be from a smaller, non-commercial operation.
I cannot imagine any circumstances that somebody who is producing poultry had that would lead to any better outcome by committing a crime and dumping those animals into the Edisto River.
The Edisto River is a source of water for surrounding counties. With that said, the Riverkeeper advises to stay out of the water for the time being.
I am not aware of any advisory being issued so far. Knowing what I know, I am not eager to recreate, in and downstream of this spot for a few miles until there's a reasonable expectation that nature has done what nature does and taken care of the problem. Help us find who did this. Let's bring, awareness and coverage to this so it doesn't happen again. This is an entirely gratuitous assault on the health and environmental safety of the entire river.
NSCDES says commercial regulated facilities are required to have a means of disposal of dead birds, both for routine deaths and mass die-offs. Now, these are most commonly utilized on site. Andrea?
I have so many questions about this story, Shelley. One, did it smell horrible? And two, how are they going to get the birds out of the water, and whose job is that?
Yeah, so we spoke to the Riverkeeper. Well, we went out there today, luckily. It wasn't as smelly as it was when he said he arrived Tuesday morning. He said there were so many flies and maggots and just lots of bugs, as you saw in the video. And he said the smell was just it was so unbearable. Now, we did ask him about a few questions about when they're if the chickens are gonna be taken out of the water, and he said that just so many chickens were in the water that it's just going to take such a large maybe boat, maybe crew to take these chickens out, and he didn't feel comfortable on Tuesday for grabbing them because they were such a biohazard that he didn't feel comfortable. That was him actually in his canoe in the video that you just saw, and so he said he didn't feel comfortable grabbing them out of the water. And as far as for the chickens, we still saw a couple out there today, so as of now a few of them are still in the river.
Wow, what an incredible story. All right, thank you so much, Shelley. So yeah, if you heard it, it's a biohazard. Don't go grabbing the chicken if you see it.